Welcome back. You're listening to the Cindy Laverty Show on CRN Digital Talk Radio, and my guest today is Susan Dost, founder of Sheridan Care, based here in Los Angeles, but Susan can certainly help you with your caregiving needs. If you have a question or you want to give us a call, our number is 800-336-2225. Okay, Susan, so Sheridan Care was voted best home health care company in the country. Congratulations.
Thanks very much. That's largely in part to my team. I have a very dedicated team in the office, and, you know, it doesn't hurt being open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Well, that's true. Okay, so I want to spend some time talking about how we can help family caregivers figure out what to look for when they're hiring an outside caregiving agency. So what are some of the things that they really need to look for? Because some of these people run amok in this place, in this area.
Right. By the end of the radio show, I think there may be one more home care company opened in Los Angeles. So there are regulations now, mostly by CASA, which is California Services at Home, that really are governing this industry, and they're really important.
Oh, thank heavens, because we haven't had that for a while.
Absolutely. And so the first thing to look for is this agency, is this company, a member of CASA. And being a member of CASA, you have to abide by a lot of strict regulations. So that weeds out the crowd. But the most important thing is the caregiver an employee of the company? Are they licensed? Are they bonded? Are they insured? Are they trained? You know, what makes a good caregiver is a mature adult the ideal caregiver is a mature adult who has raised children and understands to be present in the home with someone, to be connected. It's a relationship. So that's the most important thing.
When you talk about training, what do you mean? Because I think there's a whole area in caregiving where people assume that someone's been trained.
Right.
But hasn't been. So what kind of training? Because you guys do training.
Training's mandatory at Sheridan Care. You can't just say, hey, I raised some kids and I want to join the workforce again and I can do this. You know, and then they have a Bluetooth in their ear and, you know, they're texting someone at the same time. So, you know, being trained is someone, we really like the fact that employees of ours have taken the time to learn their craft so they can become a CNA, Certified Nursing Assistant, which is a 3-month course, which is through the state, an HHA, a home health aide. Our program is called a Certified Companion Aide. So if they're not a CNA or an HHA, they have to take a course. And what else is brilliant is that the Alzheimer's Association has courses online. So we give tuition reimbursement. If our caregiver comes to us and says, hey, I want to take a class at the Alzheimer's Association, and they go through that process, they learn how to take care of someone with Alzheimer's and dementia.
So if someone calls you and they have a loved one who has dementia or Alzheimer's, you're going to send out a specialized caregiver who understands what to do.
I am. I'm going to send someone who has taken the time to learn how to care for a person with this disease.
Okay. And there's a big difference between just being a home health aide and this.
There is. There's a huge difference. And, you know, it's so great if you know how to navigate the waters when someone becomes combative or someone becomes...
Right.
You know.
Well, I had that with my ex-mother-in-law. She had really bad dementia, and I couldn't find the right kind of help for her. I mean, you know, getting her in the bathtub was just an unbelievable challenge. We finally figured it out, but it was an unbelievable challenge. So many people are looking to hire someone quick, fast. What happens when you hire someone, say, from Craigslist? Not to say that all caregivers on Craigslist are bad. But what happens? What can happen?
Well, what can happen is, you know, the worst possible case scenario is elder abuse. And that shows up in many ways. It shows up predominantly financially.
Right.
And where they're being taken advantage of. It shows up in missing things from the house. It shows up in the fact that caregivers don't show up.
Right.
So
and what do you do if somebody doesn't show up?
Right. There's no continuity of care. There's no consistency. That relationship is transient.
Well, families also don't realize that they need to have extra home insurance, right? If they're bringing in someone who is not coming from a licensed bonded agency.
Correct.
So they bet, because you're just opening yourself up for huge liability also.
Correct. Like a workers' comp, if that person gets hurt in your home,
right,
then, they have to take care of that person the rest of their lives.
So if you're going to be hiring someone independently, not through a licensed bonded agency, be sure you get additional home insurance, because nightmares can happen and do. So don't think that you're immune to this. Do you think that families give caregivers too much medical responsibility?
Absolutely. I think that they, put a caregiver in place and then they're hands off. Well, as we age, things occur. They fall, they break their hip. So it's a progression. So you have to have someone in there who knows what they're doing, but also, the daughter can remain the daughter at that point. The wife can become a wife instead of a caregiver, which is really valuable. But also you have to find the right caregiver it's a personality connection, as well as a medical, what level of care that person may need.
But technically, caregivers really are not supposed to do medical tasks, are they?
Correct. No. Being a companion care company, we are only to do companion things like activities of daily living, bathing, dressing, light housekeeping, meal preparation, errands, and shopping.
Things that can really free up a family.
Right.
But when it comes to figuring out the medications, no.
Nope. Nope. We don't touch medication. We don't give injections. We don't cut hair or toenails.
There's a law against cutting toenails, isn't there? I never knew that you cannot do that.
Yeah, it's mostly, because it's a diabetic issue.
Right.
So, yeah, you can't cut hair, can't cut toenails, and,
So you certainly shouldn't be hiring a caregiver saying, okay, I did it. Now I'm done. I don't have to worry about this anymore. You've got to be present.
You do. And certain levels of care can be stepped up. So, for example, if you want a private RN, an LVN, all of that is available to people in their home.
But it's expensive.
It's very expensive.
So, okay, so we've got a caregiver and we have some medical things to take care of. What do you do about that?
Well, Medicare is funny because if they'll only step in and help if there's wound care or you're post-op.
Right.
So if you have had surgery, you'll get care from Medicare a little bit, a couple hours a week.
Right. They send someone to the house. They take care of all that.
They do, and it's doctor prescribed.
Right.
So when that runs out, it's a very short period of time, then you have to really reevaluate, where does mom or dad have to be? Because there is a certain level of care that has to be implemented. I'm a proponent of saying there's nothing we can't do in the home. So there's all kinds of people that we quarterback to bring into the house.
Right.
So there's in-home chemotherapy now, there's in-home dialysis, and all of these people are professionals and they're vetted and they can bring services into the home.
Well, and you and I are big proponents of keeping someone in the home as long as possible.
Absolutely.
Because they're happier there, they do better there. Okay, I got to take a quick break. You're listening to the Cindy Laverty Show. I'll be right back.